Okay, so there's been a lot of talk, about this new Genoma stuff in LightWave 11.5. Someone said, "Oh, those are skeletons, and I don't like it." Let's see what we had with skeletons. So, if we can show the screen, it's okay. Okay. So we're in modular now, and in LightWave we have basically two ways to add bonds to our models. We can add them directly in layout, or we can use modular and use skeletons instead, which give us some advantages, but even some problems. So let's say with Genoma, we've tried to get rid of the problems and just keep the good stuff the skeletons offer us, such as the fact that you can use any modeling tools to edit them. You can duplicate it using the mirror tools or copy and paste and merge point and things like that. Yes, because when you create skeletons, then you can use the drag tool to edit the bonds here, or you can, I don't know, use the magnet tool. The magnet tool, which is this one, to do things like that, which is not possible. It's not a possible editing system in layout with bonds. But we have a problem, because once you do something like that, well, you have not a good control over the rotations of your skeleton. So if we save this test here, send it to layout, and create, convert skeletons, we will see our rotation is not so predictable. So we have serious problems. And when you have to build an IK arm, an IK leg, you need the two bonds to be perfectly aligned on the pitch. So since this could be a tedious problem to solve, well, it would be cool if LightWave could take care of it. So let's see what Genoma is. Basically, in modular we have a Genoma presets tool, and from here we can assess several rigs. Complex rig, ready-to-use rig like bipeds, like this one, which come in several different configuration with FK spine or IK spine, things like that. Motion capture rig that can be used to on a model that we want to use with motion builder and motion capture. So it's a ready-to-use motion capture rig. But we can really build crazy things like this Chimera character. I use this preset rig to rig a beautiful character made by Khalid that we are going to show after. But of course you can have spiders, 8-legged creatures, any kind of creature. Quadrupeds with different spines. And then we have sub-rigs. All these complex rigs we're looking at are built using what I call sub-rigs, which are subparts rig. A sub-rig can be a finger, can be a hand, can be a spine, but even something really simple like an F-key control. And we have connectors. Connectors are very important for Genoma because using that you can connect any part to any other and build your own creature. So we could call call Genoma an auto rig by something more, because normally an auto rig gives you the possibility to build a biped, a quadruped, and nothing else. Then you can build around it. Here you can start from a biped, and then if you need a character with 4 arms, you can add other 2 arms using connectors, and it's going to work anyway. So let's take a look at what we have. For example, if I load a very simple arm test object, which I don't see. Not this one. Probably it's already loaded. Here it is. Okay, this is it's a cylinder, basically, which I bent. So what I can do is to open a Genoma preset, possibly in layer 2, keeping this in background, and look for the arm here. You can see here there is a brief description of what the rig does. It will be more precise, more long. Now it's just a reference. So now we added our sub-rig. I can immediately rotate it, so it resembles better what I have in layer 1, center. And I can start to move the joints around. I can do this kind of stuff, and okay. Now I can save the object, send it to layout. I want to go in, text shadow solid wireframe so we can see it better. And basically I can use the create rig command to have the rig created. But I need, of course, to move the rig in layer 1 as well. So let's do this operation again. Send object to layout. Okay, create rig. So now what I have is a working rig with IK already set up, with a proper pole vector, set it up. And of course I can even I can rotate the wrist and get local and work coordinates twist on the elbow, and of course on the shoulder roll as well. Now what's cool is, okay, this is pretty orthogonal, no? Nothing special really. But what I can do is to rotate the model and the skeletons at once. So now we have something different, something more random. And I can update the rig and have it done with no problem about rotation, so it's really immediate. Again, I can use the mirror tool to do something like that and duplicate both the polygons I'm working on and the Genoma rig. So now I have this situation. I can update the rig again, and here we are with the updated situation. Of course, you can save the stuff and reuse it as a preset for your work. We can really do crazy stuff. We can do that again and update it again and get this 4. Of course. So I could, for example, I can center it. I can add a root, so I can control all the arms at once. Let's do that. So Genoma preset window. I have to look for roots, and here I have my root. Here. So this will be the main control of our character. Calling it a character, it's too much, but you know. And I can connect the base of each sub-rig to this orange connector. So I will need other 4 connectors to do that. So I select this connector here, Genoma presets again, and look for connectors. Since I need 4 of them, I'm going to add this. So now I have these 4 connectors attached. I can hide maybe the geometry, so I can work only with the Genoma stuff, and I can select the tip of this connector and select the base of this one and just weld the point to get this. I can do the same with the others, the other 4. So let's do this, and let's take this one and connect it to the base here, and then the very last one here connected to this one. Here we go. I can update it again. And now I have a root which is controlling this strange creature, poor creature. Thanks, Jen. And of course I can rotate and do this kind of stuff. It's pretty fast. Let's go further and let's do something like that. I can mirror this, let's say here, and go here a little closer. Take this, all the points here, and connect it to the tip of this bone and update it again. Of course, now I'm missing the polygon. I didn't mirror the geometry, but it's going to work anyway. So we have this kind of, it's pretty fast. It's useful because if you want to build something like that from scratch directly in layout, it takes time. For sure, it doesn't take seconds. Okay, so something else we have is this. I created some muscles and tendon pre-rigs, which you can add and connect to various parts of the body. This is a very simple object. It's going to explain quite well what's the function of this stuff. You know, the red stuff you see here, those are tendons and muscles. So basically, what I'm doing now is to delete these, okay, and save this object and send it to layout and create the rig. So now, as you may notice, if I move this control, I can have tendons, which is cool because I can really move it around without messing too much with the mesh. And of course we have, let me go in another, go here. We have these muscles, we have this muscle here, and you can use this stuff everywhere in the rig. First, to improve deformations in areas that are, particularly difficult to tweak about the deformations, but to simulate muscles and things like that. I made, let's go and modular again, and let's load a spider rig here, which I should have the spider. Oh yeah, spider rig. I should have the color here. Okay. So now we have this complex rig. This rig has been built using sub-rigs, and since I was liking it, because this is a spider rig, I put this rig directly in the presets. And that's what you can do every time you build something that is working for you. Well, you can add it to the preset and have it preserved for future use. So I'm going to send this object to layout, and we can go in bounding box of the process of creation. So now we have 8 complex legs. We have a character that is not so easy and fast to rig normally. We can hit create rig, and in about, I think, 12 seconds we should have the rig done. So we're almost there, and it's done. So let's go back and texture shaded solid. Maybe we can load down the subdivision level of this object, and why not? Let's take a look at what we have. So we have this root, which is controlling the spider, and of course I can rotate it, can do this kind of stuff. I can move every single leg and position it very precisely. We have inverse foot-like controls, which normally, it takes time to build. And we have full control even of this, of course, this part of the leg. We have control here, controls to to bend all the parts of our rig. We can rotate just the body or the abdomen. So once you have this rig ready, it's just a question of adapting the position of every joint in modular, and then you're done. What I'm going to do now is pretty interesting because I'm going to use the magnet tool here to do something like this, or again something like, let's move it here and let's do something on the, yeah, something crazy on the legs. So I'm not taking care of the rotations in this moment. I'm really, you know, playing with my lucky star, and let's see what happens when I update the rig. So, update rig. We will have to wait a little, but not 6 hours or 12 hours, which is the time that you normally need to build something like that. And now we should have a brand new creature ready to be animated. I call Genoma rigging modeling system, or modeling rigging system, because you can literally model your rigs, and that's interesting. Oh yes, let's take the root to see if everything and is still working as it should. So yeah, looks like I could do something crazy like, you know, mirror this stuff and add the roots, but I'm not going to do that because it's going to take longer to generate. Not so much, but let's take a look at the biped rig we have as a preset. So Genoma preset, because there's something cool. We don't not only have, let's start with the quadruped. Yeah, we not only have the, you know, a classic FK spine. This is our quadruped. Let's send it. That's new here. Clear scene. Bye, and send it to layout and create this rig. So complex quadruped rig done. And of course we can, even in this case, we have inverse foot working, and we can rotate the chest or the spine, or chest and spine all at once. We have a root. We can really, we have great freedom posing our character thanks to these target controls, not this one. We can really pose it any way we like, any way we need. We can rotate this and preserve the angle, and we can do this kind of stuff. Okay, it's working. But okay, this is an FK spine. We still don't have an IK spline LightWave, which is coming, but we can use what we have now. The best tool we have to simulate it is the IK booster. IK booster rigs is something I added in Genoma too. So let's get rid of this rig, and let's take a look at this other rig. So this is going to use IK booster to simulate an IK spine. So we can save it and send it to layout and create a rig. So what's different now is that if I activate, everything is working as before. I mean, I can use the translate tool to move stuff around, the rotate tool to rotate it. But if I activate the IK booster and select this control, I can pose the character like this, which is pretty handy, especially for these kind of creatures, which so often, you know, needs to be posed with a kind of S shape, so we can really we have our animation down. No problems, jittering, bonds, vectors, and of course we can add a tail, we can add a head, and why not? We can add other two legs. Let's see how to do that, because this could be interesting. Let's say we want to add other two legs. So I'm going to select what I want to add. Now let's add something from scratch. Why not? So set up, Genoma preset. Let's add an insect. Why not? An insect leg. Let me find the legs. Insert leg. Here it is. Okay, 1 or 2. This is a complex one. Let's go with that. Okay. So I can position this in the background, in the foreground layer, like this, and then I can move this stuff here and do the same with something like that. Okay, I pretty like it. So I'm going to move it, let's say here, and duplicate it. Okay, so now I copy this in layer 1. And I have this connector. You can see every bone has a connector attached. So using connector, you can connect anything. So I'm going to select this base and the tip of this connector, like that, and weld it. So now we have this strange dog insect creature, which I'm going to save, and we can update the rig now. Okay. Now I can move the root, and of course the insect legs are working as they should. Yeah, I have a vector that I have to fix, but it's okay. Okay. I have two vectors that I have to fix, but okay. So, and that's it. We're going to, in one of the next presentation of Genoma, we're going to see how we can use the motion capture skeleton to create our character, export the animation, our rig to Motion Builder, add motion capture, and load the motion capture back in LightWave, preserving the controls we had in Genoma, so we can again have a classic motion capture biped skeleton with other arms added, which we're going to control using forward kinematics on inverse kinematics controls. And okay, so that's all about Genoma for now. We'll be back with other presentation about it. Thank you for listening.